Welcome back, everybody. In today's podcast, I'm going to try to shed some light on macros, especially as macros or macronutrients is really the full word, how that pertains to cheat meals or even cheat days or maybe even cheat weekends if you're really going to go off the rails. So I want to help to kind of fix up some confusion that people have when it comes to cheat days or cheat meals, because the way that a lot of people are thinking of them is that you just go off your plan, do whatever you want, and then come back to your plan later. And what I want to do is give you some ways to format that and have it stick within your parameters, within your macronutrients, so that, yeah, you're doing some damage to the body, but not nearly as much as you would do if you ventured off your macros. I'll explain all that in just a quick second. First, if you could, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe so you support the channel and so you get more videos like this in the future. All right, that said, if you're not sure what macros are, macros is short for macronutrients. And really what we're getting at when we use that term is we're referring to the target number of carbs, proteins, and fats that your body needs in a day to gain muscle or at least sustain muscle and to lose body fat. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to know, is that that's what your macros mean. When we say tracking your macros, following your macros, what we're really getting at is there's a set amount that we can figure out about your body, set amount of proteins, carbs, and fat that if it gets, you're not going to overconsume any calories. You're not going to end up getting fatter because those macros are dialed in to what your body needs, what your current physiology needs. And at the same time, we're also still giving the body enough of what it needs, where you don't go too low on carbs, where now you don't have enough energy to successfully and safely get through your workouts. Or you get too few protein, where now you're not going to be able to grow muscle, right? So macros are the sweet spot. That's ultimately what we're looking for. And even when someone gives you advice like that's maybe not macro specific, but they say to you, oh, you want to try to eat more proteins, get more lean meats, try not to eat so many high carb foods. What they're ultimately trying to do is get you further away from random eating way over here and closer to more macronutrient based eating, more dialed in eating and meal planning over here. They're just not going to be that specific with you. They're just trying to move you a little bit closer without quite getting into counting every single calorie. All right. So here's how cheat meals and cheat days fall into this. The way that most people do a cheat day, they just go off the rails, they eat whatever they want, and then they jump back onto their plan the next day. All right, here's the problem with that. If you have no idea how to quantify the damage that you just did, that one cheat day could negate 3, 4, 5 days of following your macros, or of at least healthier eating in general. You could undo a lot of time. And a lot of people do this. They'll do 6 days on, 1 day off, and if that day off is far off, where they're gaining back all the calories that they kept off during the prior 6 days when they were on their meal plan, well, now they're not really getting anywhere. You'll go months and not even lose a pound of body fat or gain a pound of muscle, and you'll think, oh, well, this is frustrating. I'm getting nowhere. If that's the case, then certainly your cheat days are way too off base. So here's what you do. You make your cheat day still adhere to your macros, still adhere to the amount of protein you need, the amount of carbohydrates you need, the amount of fat that your body needs. However, instead of having generally healthy foods, you can swap out those healthy foods for whatever kind of garbage you want to put in your body. Just make it so that the macros still line up. So a quick example would be this. Let's say that you're about to have one of your meals, and that meal calls for, let's say, 30 grams of carbohydrate. And your plan is to have a big red apple, right? Loaded in vitamins, minerals, etc. But that big red apple is going to be your 30 grams of carbohydrates. If you decide, hey, I'm dying for a soda. I want 30 grams of carbohydrate from a Pepsi as opposed to this apple. You can make that switch. You're not affecting your macros because you're trading 30 grams of carbohydrate for another 30 grams of carbohydrate. So in terms of calories in and calories out with your body, you're not going to get fat. You're not going to gain body fat because of it. And you're not cheating your muscles out of the protein they want. Protein wasn't even part of the discussion there, right? You're just keeping your carbohydrates correct. So yeah, you're still doing some damage in terms of all the harsh chemicals coming in, certainly from the soda pop. And yeah, you're not going to get the vitamins and minerals you would have had in the apple and the anti-inflammatory properties and all the great things that are in that apple. Okay, we're missing out on that. But in terms of muscle mass and body fat, we're probably not going to really see much change because you're still getting the 30 grams of carbohydrates that your body called for at that point anyway. You're just not getting them quite as healthfully. Now, there's a few other factors here too. We do have to consider things like hormone secretion. And yes, your hormone secretion will not be as healthy if you're getting a lot of junk food. So there's still that. But ultimately, when it comes to calories in and calories out and following your macros, you can follow your macros, plug in cheat foods whenever you want, and still roughly get similar outcomes in terms of your muscle mass, either maintenance or gaining muscle, whatever it is you're trying to do on your plan, and maintaining your body fat loss as well. So anyway, everybody, I hope this is helpful. I hope this is hopefully a different way to look at cheat meals or cheat days. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, that's not what I do at all. I just eat whatever I want and hope for the best. Maybe this explains why you might not be getting the long-term results that you're actually looking for, and that you can still have those cheat foods. You just have to think a little bit more about how well they fit into your macros and how to swap them out for some of the healthier foods. Again, keep in mind, I'm not suggesting that you do this. What I'm saying is if you're already someone who needs cheat meals periodically anyway, and most of us do from time to time, this is the far better way to do it instead of just going off the rails and ignoring macros altogether. Anyway, if you'd like to get my help, reach out to me down below. You can comment down below. You can visit one of my websites or give me a call. Either way, I look forward to working with you. We can set up some time over Zoom and talk very specifically about your particular needs for where you are at this point in your fitness and wellness journey. As always, everybody, I'm looking forward to your health and your wellness success.